The first books of the Bible are attributed to Moses, who lived a little over 3,000 years ago. He starts out his writings talking about the creation and Adam and Eve, which happened about 3,000 years before his time, and go through to his own time. The rest of the Old Testament was written by prophets, poets, kings, and historians. After Jesus died and was resurrected, his disciples and future converts wrote down his teachings in books called Gospels. They also wrote letters called epistles to each other, and wrote histories of the church called Acts. And they also wrote prophecies about the future called Revelations. All the books in the Bible were written on perishable materials such as papyrus and animal skins. Because the writings were perishable, they had to be copied by hand before they perished. This important task was entrusted to Jewish scribes for the Old Testament, and later to Catholic monks with the addition of the New Testament. For hundreds of years, different local Christian churches had different copies of different scriptures. There was no specific official version of the scriptures. The New Testament was finally officially organized by the Catholic Church in Rome about 400 years after Jesus' resurrection. In this meeting, they gathered all the writings they could find that anyone taught was scripture, and voted on which ones and which versions to keep. In the end, this process resulted in the current 39 books in the Old Testament and 27 books in the New Testament. This meant that about 14 books were left out of the Old Testament, and well over 50 potential books were left out of the New Testament. This official or canonical version of the Bible was a carefully protected property of the Catholic Church. Copies of the Bible in modern languages didn't become readily available to the public until Martin Luther and the Reformation, which happened over 1,000 years after the Catholic Church had officially organized the Bible. The King James Version of the Bible was created under the direction of King James of England in order to have one official translation of the Bible in English. At the time, there were at least 11 versions of the Bible in English that were in circulation, and they did not agree with each other. This helps illustrate how tricky translating can be. No translation is ever perfect, and all translations reflect the biases of those who do them and their source materials. The KJV was a group effort of at least 47 scholars and took approximately 4 years to complete. Other modern versions, such as the NIV, were created using similar procedures. Thousands of years of writing, copying, and translating work by thousands of individuals have given us what we now know of as the Holy Bible. We should be grateful for their sacrifice and read what they have given us.